let's look at how we can use positioning to create a layout like this. So we have some sort of term and a description and then an image associated with that. So if we're thinking about HTML for a second, I would say that this is probably a DT and a DL, probably a description list. So let's select this text here. Let's go into our HTML and start writing it. So this is going to be a DL. All right, let's paste my text in there. Good. So these here are going to be DTs. Clearly I can't do things properly. Okay, here we go. DT, all right. And these are going to be DDs. All right, so here is the HTML we're going to need for this. All right. And we probably want to look at how to get our images into here. Now, I'm thinking that if we look in Photoshop, the images are probably, I would say they're probably important to the content. So let's go and use image tags then to get them in here. And I'm going to put them inside of the DDs. So let's include these images here. Okay, there's one. And another. Okay, so let's go check this in the browser. So it looks sort of like that, which is similar to what we want, I guess, but not really. So if we look in Photoshop, the first thing you'll notice is that the DTs are bold, and this is all in Georgia. So let's start with those couple things. So I'm going to target my HTML here and set it to Georgia. All right, and then let's target the DTs, and let's make them bold. All right. And then let's target the DDs also because they have margin or padding on them. I can't remember which one it is. I think it's margin. So how's that look? There we go. So that's a little bit closer. Now, what we probably want to do in this situation is we probably want to absolutely position the planets into this sort of space here. When we absolutely position, we can move things into area that is created by padding. So if we create padding on the left-hand side here of our element, we can absolutely position the planets into it. So what I probably want to do is I probably want to target the DL and put padding on its left-hand side. So those images are 45 pixels wide, so let's make our padding 55 px. All right, so there's what it looks like now. And we have this space over here that we can put the images into. So if we go back to our code, let's target the images and set them to position absolute. Okay, so now we can see this. Now I want to move the images to the left a little bit. So I want to move them to basically the 0 coordinate of my element. So I'm going to say left 0, like this. But that's positioning against the body. And the reason it's positioning against the body is because we haven't set the context for the positioning of the images. And we of course want that to be our DL element. Or let's actually make it our DD element. Since they are inside the DD, that might give us a little bit more control. No, I'm going to change my mind. Let's do it on the DL. Position relative. Okay, so there we go. So they're now sort of slotted into the right place, horizontally anyways, but vertically they're not lined up with the text. If we look in Photoshop, you can see that the planets are lined up with the title of the text. So we want to move these images up a little bit. So we probably just want to use a margin top, and let's set it to -1em. See where that gets us. That's close. I'll just do some refinement here. All right, so that's pretty good. The only remaining change then is we want to have a margin on the bottom of our DDs. So let's go 1em or 1.5em on the bottom. There we go. So there's our little layout. So what we did was we used padding. I can highlight it here. So padding is marked with green. So I used padding to create space on the left of the DL. Then I absolutely positioned the images and I moved them into that padded area, and then I just played with their margins to sort of align them where I wanted them to be.